Tonight I am going to read romantic stories to help you fall asleep. This story is called I Wish. It is written by a user named Jamieson. It's spelled capital J A-M-I-S-O-N. I'll send the link so you know who wrote it. It was not me. Not me. So this is a story about a guy named Jamie. I had a girlfriend named Jamie. We had fun. So this is about Jamie's diary. Here we go. 8th grade year. I wish I could tell her how I feel. Today I saw the most beautiful girl in the whole 8th grade class and the world. Jenny was her name. When I asked, she spoke like an angel. I wish I could tell her how I feel. 12th grade. The prom. I wish I could tell her how I feel. Me and Jenny talked today. She really loves her boyfriend. They broke up and I had to comfort her after prom. She told me I was the best friend on the planet. I wish I could tell her how I feel. College sophomore year. I wish I could tell her how I feel. Jenny has grown even more beautiful, if that's even possible. I saw her at a party with Derek. My heart sank. She was happy as ever. We talked about him. She says he's different. I wish I could tell her how I feel. College graduation. I wish I could tell her how I feel. We were all the happiest we've ever been. Jenny ran up to me after accepting degrees and kissed me on the cheek. And then she yelled, "We made it." Jenny then ran to Derek and kissed him deeply. I wish I could tell her how I feel. Jenny's marriage. I wish I could have told her how I feel. Everyone was happy except me. Jenny had the biggest grin on her face ever. I smiled back to make her happy. During their kiss, I had to look away and blink the tears out of my eyes. I wish I could have told her how I feel. Jenny's funeral. I wish I could have told her how I feel. Today was Jenny's memorial. I don't want to live anymore. After the service, her mother brought me a box from Jenny's house. The will said I was to receive all its contents. In it was a book I gave her in the 8th grade. There also was the prom corsage I gave her in the 12th grade. The notebook I gave her sophomore year in college. The button I gave her for her college graduation robe. An earring I gave to her on her wedding, and a diary. Her diary read, Jenny's diary, 8th grade year. I wish I could tell him how I feel. This next story is also romantic, but it's not sad. At least I don't think so. This is my first time reading this story. But I like reading sad, romantic stories. Kind of makes you, sometimes you just gotta hear that kind of story. This story right here, I don't see a name, but once again I will also send the link. The title of this story is called How Love Can Surprise You. I used to work with the most gorgeous guy on the planet. He was so beautiful, and we got along so well. Most of the time I assumed that he was gay. He had a certain camp swagger about him, and he was always impeccably well turned out. Most of his friends were female, and he was one of the best sales assistants on the floor. We were very close, and we always took our lunch breaks together. He would talk to me about someone that he liked in the store, but he would never tell me who it was. To cover up my disappointment, I would in turn talk to him about the guy that I fancied, but I never ever revealed that it was him. We had very in-depth conversations over our sandwiches about each of our secret crushes, and tried to come up with all sorts of solutions for each other. We would talk about his crush in a very obscure way, so I never could tell whether it was a girl or a guy though, and I didn't like to focus too much on the gender anyway, because I thought he might be comfortable with his own sexuality. I did not want him to close up, because I loved our conversations. Then one day, I decided that I was going to help him to tell the person that he liked them, because I knew that there was no point in trying to keep him all to myself when he was obviously not interested in me in that way. If he was gay, it was a hopeless case for me anyway. But he was too shy to approach them, so I told him that if he told me who it was, I would talk to them and I would find out how they felt about him. He refused to tell me who it was though, and instead he said that he would arrange for the person to meet me in the canteen the following lunch break. So I went along with it. I had no idea who I was going to be faced with, which felt quite weird. I was going to come face to face with my #1 rival, the one person who had stolen the heart of the man I wanted for myself. And I didn't really know whether it was going to be a girl or a guy. What if it was a girl, and it turned out that he was straight after all? Was I going to be able to set him up with her, or would I be too jealous? I had all these thoughts spinning around in my head when he came and sat down in front of me. I immediately thought he had backed down and not told the person to come and meet me, but then he said he hadn't backed down. I was very confused, and he literally had to spell it out for me. It was me. I was the girl that he fancied all this time, and he had never had the guts to tell me. I was so surprised. I did not see it coming. I then had to tell him that he was the guy that I had been talking about all this time too, which was so embarrassing, especially when he said that he knew because one of our colleagues had told him. Things were very weird between us for a little while, but we started dating, and things soon felt exactly how they were meant to be. I was so happy.